Head coach, Brian, we were just talking. When you get Lynnwood in the gym, there's really not much you have to say, right?
No, we've got a pretty good history of battling back and forth with each other. We've knocked them out of the state tournament before. They've knocked us out of a state tournament before. Every time that we have a game against each other, it's just going to be a fun, pretty good battle.
Did you look at any film from that district championship game? Did you talk about that at all with the kids this week?
I haven't showed them that district championship game from last year, but I've watched it enough. I kind of know what we did wrong, what we did right. I don't know. What's the formula for beating Lynnwood? And I don't know if there's a formula. We just got to go play hard.
Well, you did it last year on this court. It was one of the big wins of the season last year. Different kids, different year. You got to turn the page. Any other different? Just try to slow these guys down this year.
Well, one of the things that they love to do is they like to score in transition. They like to score out of their defense, and then they can score a lot of points off of putbacks. So our main emphasis right now is take care of the ball when we have it so they can't score on their defense. Make sure we get back quick so they can't fast break us, and let's rebound.
Not much. Sounds like an easy night, easy task. We'll be back with more. Maybe we'll get our good friend Everett Edwards over there. Always loves this game. Everybody loves this. It's great for girls basketball. Tip up, tip off coming next, STSPN.
NBA 3 ball. He just absolutely drains that one.
Trying to get Everett Edwards here, the state champion Lynnwood Royals, but he is on the chalk. He is drawing up some diagrams right now. We'll be back with more of the tip-off here. The #1 team in the state versus #9, Lynnwood, Glacier Peak. Scott Oshman, Johnny Mack, Ron Henthorne on the call on STSPN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
What? Check, check. All right, a packed kind of, well, you can't see the student section's trying to fill up, but it is getting packed here. Glacier Peak, Lynnwood Royals, Scott Oshman, Johnny McLean, and Ron Henthorne. How are you guys?
Here with Johnny and I. Big night tonight with number 1 Lynnwood coming in here.
Yeah, this is John McLean. We talked strategy when they got the big win last year on this floor. They flipped the schedule. They play them here, then they have to go down to back over to Lynnwood at the end of the year. But what they did last year to get that win, they slowed them down.
Yeah, you have to. This Lynnwood team loves to run, and they are fast. Like we were talking earlier, they went through Snohomish, and Snohomish is a big team, but not a fast team, and they just ran them into the ground. They're going to have a little more trouble doing that with GP, who has much faster guards, and then also has an outsized down below too, right?
Brian Hill talked a little bit about matchup. He's going with Abby Josephaitis today to start instead of McFadden, only just because they think they might have something on a matchup with size.
Well, I think that's a good matchup for GP, and I also think Abby brings some more scoring to the table for GP as well, so she'll help a lot.
You might be losing a little speed, though. McFadden's a track star.
Yeah.
And then she also rebounds like crazy.
That's huge, obviously, on the defensive, offensive boards for Pivik. Pivik is a monster on the boards. The more you can keep her, box her out, the better you're going to stop transition. It'll also be interesting if they try to press. One of the things at Glacier Peak was successful, not only in that game, but also the district championship, is they broke the press enough where they kind of stopped doing it, and that slowed the pace down.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to see McFadden out for long. I think they're going to put her in just because, I mean, she's strong too. I mean, she could play, defensive back easy.
Definitely good on the boards. And speaking of Lynnwood, you got a couple of girls on there. They're going D1, Scott.
Oh, yeah. Well, Michaela Pivik, again, Gatorade Player of the Year last year. State champions, of course, is Lynnwood. She's heading to Oregon State next year, commit. And then you have, of course, Jordan Edwards, number 4, the 5'10 senior. She's going to Colorado State. And I tell you what, last year it was the battle of the sophomores. Kelsey Rogers, number 14 for Lynnwood, a 6'1 junior as well. She's averaging a little over 9 a game. She's a load inside. That's always Kayla and her, a great matchup.
Yeah, Oregon State, though, that's a beautiful gym, if you've ever seen that thing.
That's got trees on the court.
Yeah, I mean, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, something's got to give here. Wesco 3A South, both 4-0 in the league here. Glacier Peak 10-2, losses this year. Arlington, kind of an interesting game at Arlington. Paisley Johnson fouls out with several minutes left to go. Kind of a key there. And then they lost over the holidays to Linden Christian, which is a top team in 1A basketball. See, that's your whole point, John.
Yeah.
You always talk about the 1A, 2A, 3A can beat anybody.
Anybody. All you got to do is get a good crop of kids, right? You get 6 really good players coming out of some tiny school, and they can just dominate.
It was 62-68, not like it was major. They lost to Arlington 59-62. Those are the two blemishes. Glacier Peak coming off a big win last week, 59-14 over Mount Lake Terrace. And the Lynnwood Royals played Edmonds Woodway, again, another top team here in 3A South, 56-29. Now, it looked a little bit daunting and scary in the first half for Lynnwood. Edmonds Woodway actually got up on them, and then they just broke out in the second half and put it on them. And we talked about this before the broadcast. Lynnwood has not been even tested. They went out of the state and couldn't find anybody to play them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be tested tonight.
Yes.
Well, they gave up 10 points of Edmonds Woodway in that game, and then all of a sudden they woke up, I guess.
Yeah, last year again, Glacier Peak went to Lynnwood, lost 58-33. Drawn, I think you went to that game at Lynnwood last year.
Did, yes.
Came back February 6th, and that's when Glacier Peak beat them 61-49. The score a little bit more than what that game was, but it was pretty dominating there at the end.
It was very dominating, and both of these teams can put up the points. I think they put up 60, 70, 80, 85 points Lynnwood put up against one of the California teams at 85-71 game down there in California. So there's some scoring threats out here. This is big-time basketball tonight.
This is. You see Kayla Watkins out there. They're doing the starting lineups, and that's Michaela Pivik in the bright green shoes. To your point, Ron, Lynnwood averaging 66.5 per game. Glacier Peak 61.6. And the free throw shooting is always critical, along with three-point shooting. And I was talking to Coach Hill about Sam Fatkin. She is struggling outside the arc this year. Only 8 for 40, shooting 20%. She's usually a pretty good three-point shooter. He talked a lot about her first job is distribute the rock, baby.
Got to take care of it and deliver it. She's a delivery girl.
Well, the three-pointers are going to be a big event in this game tonight, and I think in all these girls' games. So we'll take a quick break here for the
That's right.
national anthem.
We'll step away, get back. STSPN Western Conference Girls Varsity Basketball coming up next. Which one am I? Well, the parent side is packed. There's not a lot of room here for this good big contest. A Wednesday night here in January. I haven't seen you guys. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. This is a game in color tonight, Scott, but the players are out there in black and white. So what do you think is going to come across the screen tonight? A black and white game or a colorful game?
I think it could be an interesting game. I don't know that, I was talking to, again, you guys have seen Glacier Peak girls a little bit more, finding that rhythm. You know, Sadie Mensing graduates now at Central, I believe, and it's interesting how you don't realize how much that means to a team until they leave.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sadie will be missed, but the girls have been playing excellent basketball this season.
They have.
And we got the Cap back.
Cap's back, and
because she was wounded for most of the early part of the season.
Yeah, Rasmussen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been calling her Cap.
Cat, Nat Rat.
She's the captain.
I think
Captain America.
John's favorite stat's going to come into play tonight, and that's turnovers.
And there right off the bat as Johnson tries to go up again. Glacier Peak in the home whites, Lynnwood in the black and gold. Matchups again, long time. It's they know the other player very well. Gets it into Kayla Watkins.
Rolls it in. That's going to be big inside because Kayla's got so much in the way of height and size on these girls, right? If you can get her the ball, she should be able to score. Plus, she's an excellent free throw shooter if she gets fouled going inside.
And Pivot posts up, goes in, can't get the gimme, but she steals the rebound, dishes to Boston. And Caprice Boston is somebody who's come on strong, and it's tied up 2-2.
Lynnwood with a little full court press, nothing much. Just slows GP down a little bit.
Pivot coming into tonight, 50 steals through 11 games.
Lynnwood playing a little man-to-man. Thinks
Watkins.
they match up well.
Interesting, they did go a zone. Here comes Kayla, faces up Rogers. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Rebound here by Edwards.
Transition game, look at that.
Here we go, Walsh. Kayla comes down. Now they want to run. Again, not sure they want to do it, but there's a turnover by Paisley Johnson.
That's what's going to be the difference in the ballgame right there. But, you know, as GP running with them, also had numbers there, right? If they can get some stops and run the ball, they might be in good position.
A good pass there would have been all she took.
Right now it's a tie ball game.
Just to start, 6:40 left in this first quarter. Riley Walsh, the general out there. The junior. Now they get it back out. Caprice. Nice stroke, good box out there by Johnson, and they're going to say it's Glacier Peak basketball.
Yeah, number 4, Jordan Edwards can't get position, but she's doing a good job of hacking at the ball from behind and not getting called.
It's not over the back, though.
That's a skill right there.
The press, now they break it. She finds Fatkins. Fatkins going to take it herself. Rebound by Rogers.
Lucky on that one.
Ooh, a jump ball.
Fatkin with the quick hands getting a hold of that thing.
Sammy Fatkin, again, got all kinds of D1 looks right now. 18 versus Snohomish, 21 versus Arlington in the loss. Sam averaging 13 a game as Lynnwood comes down, tied 2-2. Rogers from the free throw line. Another offensive rebound, John, for the Royals.
Yeah, it's so strange seeing Pivot playing inside. I mean, she's going to go to college and she's going to be a guard, right?
Reminds of Jason Todd days at Boys Jackson. Remember, he was playing inside.
Yeah.
Spin and drive on Rasmussen, and she'll draw the foul.
Walsh goes to the line.
Walsh struggling from the free throw line. This one kind of jumped out, only shooting 29% coming into today through 11 games.
29% from the free throw line.
That could be an error. That's didn't seem right, especially when you see that. So she breaks the tie here with 5:42 left in the first.
Yeah, 5:42 left. Not a big score for almost 3 minutes of playing gone here.
From what I've seen from Riley in AAU ball during the summer,
Yeah.
she's shooting at least in the 60s, 70s for the free throw
All right,
line.
well, if that's wrong, I am going to plead the ignorance.
You have to apologize to her mom. She's here somewhere.
She is. I always should just do that disclaimer. Apologize to everybody. There isn't a name I can't butcher out there.
Fatkins.
Fatkins. Got it. And that's what we talked about.
5-4, GP on top.
Sam struggling, 20%, 8 for 40 coming into tonight.
She didn't struggle with that one.
No, she didn't. That looked good. Nice squared up. Walsh out front. Now Pivot playing up front. They go inside to Rogers. Nice tip away. Good D by Watkins. Here comes Paisley Johnson. 1-on-3, going to take it herself. Try to draw the foul. Nothing.
She got fouled, but they didn't call it.
Here come the Royals. Rogers. All by herself, and Kelsey Rogers, the junior, lays it up and in.
Sammy did a good job of not fouling her there.
Lynnwood up by 1, 6-5, 4:40 left here in the first quarter on STSPN.
Has Lynnwood scored everything in transition so far?
I think so. They've tried to go down low. They had a three-pointer that didn't go.
If not everything, it's been the majority.
Again, the district championship last time these two met, Lynnwood winning 48-42. Fatkin with the runner, no good. Only one basket. Here's Boston. Caprice Boston gets inside.
Easily done. GP comes right back, though, making him get back on defense.
Nice
Sammy
touch by Fatkins.
answers back.
Sammy came to play tonight.
We're just going to run, I guess.
Walsh. Pivot looking for her first bucket of the night.
One thing that might worry GP, though, is Lynnwood's used to running.
Yeah, that's what it kind of, you don't want to run with them, I don't think, because
Glacier Peak might get tired.
You're playing into their hands, and a tough call there, and that's Josephitis. Abby Josephitis, a sophomore, 5'7" guard. Abby getting some good minutes. She had 16 points versus a very good Monroe, and Pevic. And one.
Yeah, you know what made that play work? She jumps.
Yes.
You wouldn't think that would be so uncommon, but it is in girls basketball.
Glacier Peak's third team foul. That's going to be the first foul on Sam Fatkin. Pivic hits it. As Pivik, 77% from the stripe so far this year, John McClain. That is McClain-type numbers. That's the range.
Good numbers, yeah. You should be shooting somewhere between 70 to 80% at least from the free throw line. I mean, it's free.
Paisley Johnson, now Josephitis back out to Rasmussen. Rasmussen missing a few games. Josephitis.
Can't get it to roll.
And Rogers with the rebound. Here comes Edwards up to Walsh. Walsh, she's going to take with the left, crawls it in.
You'll notice nobody on the offensive boards, though, for GP.
4
Everybody's
points.
getting back.
Back the other way quickly is Paisley Johnson. Her first bucket of the night. 13-9, though. Lynnwood on top, 2:46 left in the first quarter.
GP matching up with Mano, Imano. I thought they'd be in a 3-2 or something, but.
Everett Edwards now switching it up. Edwards on top. They circle around. Here's Pivik jumper from the elbow. Bottom of the net.
Gave that one to her.
She'll have that shot all night if she wants it.
Yeah, she worked the screen herself, so.
15-9 Lynnwood. Here's Paisley. That's a good looking little stop and drop for PJ Johnson. 15-11. Everett Edwards wants to talk about it. We'll step away. You're watching Western Conference Girls Varsity Basketball on STSPN.
Thanks.
Back here, Glacier Peak High School in Snohomish, Washington. Lynnwood Royals, the #1 state championship. Our officials tonight, Brett McIntyre, Todd Howell, and Raj Kanji. Kanji, familiar. I think McIntyre and Howell, Ron Henthorn, we've seen those guys before.
They've been here before. They know the game. They're looking for a good game tonight, too.
So one thing, Lynnwood doesn't have a three-point shot yet this game.
No, they don't. Here's Broston with a great drop step on Josephitis.
And why would you, when you're getting layups? Why would you shoot from three-point land?
Caprice Boston, tell you what, she's averaging 12 and a half a game. As Fatkin comes down, 16 on the shot clock. 12 points in the paint for Lynnwood tonight.
Underneath.
And Rasmussen, good, comes out. Here's Fatkins.
Yes.
Got it one more time. Fatkins 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Royals the other way, 17-14 lead for Lynnwood Royals. They have barely been tested this year.
GP still in the man-to-man.
That time, cuts off the lane. Here's Fatkins. Pivik's going to try and pick her pocket. Tries to dump it off to Paisley, and they secure it. Left side, and Paisley just goes off her knee, and that's going to be another turnover. Turnover's costly here for Glacier Peak.
That was unfortunate because Kayla Watkins was wide open at the free throw line, and she is an excellent free throw shooter. All you had to do was dish her that rock, and that would have been 2 points.
Maya McFadden, number 15. She's been having some good minutes coming in. She's a 5'10 junior.
Looks like they gave her the task of covering Boston.
Rogers, top of the key, 15 on the shot clock. She's going to take Watkins, and she scoops it. And a good rebound there by McFadden. 17-14, 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 20 on the shot clock, tipped out by Michaela. That'll be GP ball. So transition in the paint on our stats tonight. Steven. Been doing an awesome job.
He doesn't speak, Scott.
He does. He speaks to us, but
Watkins with the lefty under the cup.
I think Watkins is going to quietly get a ton of points tonight if they use her right.
to get her inside like that, Johnny, they'll get her in there.
She had 21 versus Linden Christian in there, one of only 2 losses. She didn't play against Mount Lake Terrace, so didn't have any stats. There's the 3 from Edwards. The first 3 ball tonight, and at the buzzer, Sammy almost gets it to drop.
Wow.
So Lynnwood 20, Glacier Peak 16. We've seen everything, but you want to see much more. Don't go away right here on STSPN. Second quarter, Glacier Peak, Lynnwood 1 versus 9. And Jordan Edwards, John McClain, she had her 3. That was one of the keys in the Glacier Peak win in the regular season last year. She didn't shoot much. Paisley with a 3.
Not going to drop.
Great hustle there. Tips
Nice
it out by
move.
Pivik down to Edwards.
Nice pass, too. Pivik really heads up play. You can tell she's a baller.
5 now for Edwards, it looks like. Edwards heading to Colorado State. Yeah, Pivik leads them in assists. 38 assists through 11 games so far. 22-16. Inside to Watkins.
Oh, get it up on top.
Yep.
Pivik wants to run. Stops, drops, nylon.
Easily, you got to come out and get her. You can't give her a 11-foot shot.
24-16.
Easy, too, from the paint, John.
It wasn't from the paint.
Inside the paint.
It was outside.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought you was inside.
No.
You guys can debate it. Rasmussen on the left side,
We could
Fatkin.
replay it, Ron.
Nice pass inside to Paisley Johnson, but Edwards there to wrap her up, and that's, I thought it'd be Glacier Peak basketball. I thought it was Lynnwood last time, but
Risky pass is what that was. She was down low with 3 Lynnwood defenders.
so 24-16 here, like you said. Lynnwood 20 points in the first quarter. Johnny, what's Glacier Peak? They got to play some D, right?
Glacier Peak's got to stop them, right? Can't let them cut those gaps and drive on them. Most of their points have been inside, right? So can't let them get to the hole. I would throw a little zone at them, see if that works. Make them shoot from three-point land.
9 on the shot clock. Paisley runs over the pick as Pivik now gets it,
Short.
fades away. She's going to short, gets her own rebound as she does many times. But Josepitis there to pick her pocket and take it away for the steal. She has to hustle, get it to Fatkin.
Smart play there by Josepitis to not get that ball back again.
Yeah, because she was out of bounds. You can't touch it and come
Right.
back in.
Very heady.
Paisley for 3. Nails it.
Got it.
GP doing a good job of staying in touch, but hasn't been ahead yet in this ballgame.
5:53 to go in the first half. Edwards left, great first move. Now kicks it out to Walsh from the baseline. Boy, they are shooting well tonight.
Yeah, if we had the shooting percentages, I think that'd show where it's coming from because they're not missing anything on the inside.
Picked off by Pivik.
Great thought
And
by
we're running.
Rasmussen, but here comes Pivik. She's looking down to number 1, and she gets it to her.
She wasn't even covered.
Yamani in the ball game. First points for her. And they're going to call a foul on Rasmussen as Jordan was heading to the hoop. Second on Rasmussen. Team's 4th. And now McFadden checks in for Watkins.
Number 14, Kelsey Rogers.
Rogers substitutes for Yamani.
Yeah, you can see where it's starting. The turnovers are going to be a problem. GP's got to get that under control.
28-19. Pivik Spins, didn't know it was coming. Rogers, here comes Josephitis to the
There
ball.
by McFadden.
And gives it up. And one thing, Josephitis, again, she's just a sophomore, but she does lead the team in a lot of games and turnovers, and that's just a lot of her youth, trying to make something happen.
She had a good idea right there, just a little too late on the give and go.
Good rebounder, though. Fatkins drives in the lane, now flips it onto her right side, and she will draw the whistle.
She was hammered by Kelsey Rogers.
68% from the stripe through 12 games.
For Glacier Peak, number 5, Sammy Fackler.
5'10" junior.
Sammy.
Ooh, a little long.
Misses the front end.
Lynnwood, number 22, Caprice Boston.
Boston comes in. Caprice putting some big minutes and gives Michaela Pivic a breather.
Now's an opportunity with Pivic on the couch.
And
GP
Sammy, Sammy can't get that
go
one.
on a run.
It's a little unusual for Sammy. Usually it's one of those two.
Here comes Walsh on the front court. Now the defense picks up on the man-to-man. Paisley on Edwards, jumps it down to Rogers. Great spin move on McFadden. Right to the glass.
McFadden needs to play to her right-hand side, make her go left. She can beat her on the left, then more power to her, but don't give her the right.
Fatkins thinks about it. 15 on the shot clock. 4:25 left in the first half here. Glacier Peak down 19-30. Now they're in kind of a zone. Rasmussen breaks the zone. Left-hander, sweet little touch by Nat Rass.
Smart move by Rasmussen there. Get in the paint and put up a little runner.
30-21 now. Lynnwood into Rogers, goes left, and she is working hard on McFadden. There's 2 in a row.
She's got 2 or 3 inches on McFadden down there. She's going to go around her every time if they get the ball to her.
14 of 20 shooting for Lynnwood tonight. Like we thought, they are shooting the lights out of the gym.
Yep.
But it's nice when you're at point-blank range.
Yes. it's easy to have a high percentage when you're shooting mostly layups.
Fouls on number 2, Riley Walsh.
A foul on Riley Walsh. Walsh, her first. Team second again. Glacier Peak, 4 teams fouls. That's not been an issue with 3:47 left in the first half.
Chuck in the ball game.
7 hands in. Number 11. Good ball fake by Rasmussen. Over to Paisley. 20 seconds on the shot clock. She drives, kicks it. Chuck! Boom! 3-point for Charlie.
The senior.
Great to see 7 ants.
Good to
Now
see it.
GP in a 2-3 now.
Come off the bench and score 3. That works nice.
Oh, and that 2-3 immediately forces Lynnwood into a timeout. What do we do with that, Coach?
A 30-second timeout called by Lynnwood.
3:18 left to go, 32-24. I have a feeling this one's going to stretch. It's going to be elastic as far as leads go.
Going to stay close most of the way, you think? Yeah.
I think it'll be stretches and leads. Again, I think it's about the defense. I think you have to do everything purposely to slow them down. The minute they get out in transition, they're just too fast.
Yeah, and everybody's running.
Yes.
Right? You know, as soon as they get the ball, everybody's eyes get really wide and their feet start moving really fast because they all want to score, right?
There's another factor out there, too. You saw that substitution when Kayla came out and they put McFadden in, and they just powered over McFadden, so they got to put Kayla back in there to cover that. But she's got to stay strong and be able to last this whole game in there.
Great identification there by matchups, and they go down to Rogers on McFadden, exploiting that. Lynnwood in control here. They go back down to Rogers. This time it's over the outstretched arms of Kayla Watkins, and Rogers is feeling it.
You got to give it to Rogers on that one. She earned it.
8 now for the junior. Paisley breaks out of the 3-on-1 across the timeline. 17 on the shot clock. Josephitis.
Oh,
that was
off.
a good thought, but it's just too late. And in the zone there is Boston out to Walsh. Walsh going to take it herself. Up and in. And Lynnwood now all over Glacier Peak.
Somebody's got to stop the ball.
anytime you can drive all the way to the baseline, you're going to get a basket or a foul, one of the two.
36-24, 2:28 left in this first half. Sam Fatkins at the scorer table to come in. Charlie Sevenance with a big three. Paisley from three, land too much. But there for the garbage is Kayla Watkins.
Hey, you can make an entire career out of garbage.
Yes.
Just ask the round mound of rebound.
10-point lead now. 2:03 deep for Jordan Edwards. Sevenance with a rebound.
I think she
See
got
what you
fouled.
call the foul there on Pivot.
Called it on somebody. Yep.
Fouls on number 10.
Good call there, Scott.
Her first foul, and that was the big deal in the district championship. Pivot fouls out with 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the ball game, and Jordan Edwards just hits a massive three ball to take the lead to come away with that win. And it proved out, we didn't know at the time, to be critical because the seedings were brutal, and Glacier Peak got the raw end of the deal as the ball ping-pongs around, and here's to pick it up is Paisley Johnson.
Hey, if you can get a lucky bounce and a score off it, more power to you. GP still in the 2-3.
Paisley
It's
now.
definitely slowed Lynnwood down, but you can't let Pivot do that to you.
Pivot just makes her own space.
Did you see that shot, John? It's just a pull-up jumper there and a hesitation shot.
Off balance fadeaway for Pivot. Josephitis finds Charlie as Paisley drives in the lane, one-hander, rebound, Boston. 10-point lead for Lynnwood. They have led most of the way here for the first half. 1:03 left in the first half to go. Jordan Edwards going to Colorado State next year. Pivot out top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And Boston, creative, gets the bucket. And they are doing whatever they want in the paint, John McClain.
Right now, they're having their way with the Glacier Peak defense.
Well, not Glacier Peak not sending him to the line. Fouls, only 4 team fouls for Glacier Peak, 3 for Lynnwood. Fatkins out top, gets the screen by Chuck. Nice pass by Josephitis.
Be a hold on.
She was
Walter
held
there.
on the way.
And a good cut there by Charlie Sevenance.
Fouls on number 2, Riley Walsh, her second. Team
Second foul on Riley Walsh.
number 23, Taylor Fahey.
Taylor Fahey checking in for Lynnwood.
Only four fouls for each team in the first half. It should be a little bit more than that, I would think. Oh,
Paisley wanted Kayla there to cut to the rack, and Kayla wasn't caught up quite yet.
That's a tough pass when you're already in the air.
The shooting unbelievable here for Lynnwood. 10 of 12 just in the second quarter.
Yeah, but they're all layups.
They're all right under the rim. Boston, 3 seconds. Nice block by Watkins. Gets it to Rasmussen, but
Picked
no!
off.
Pivot almost gets it at the buzzer. The buzzer beater denied.
Man, GP's just got to take care of the ball. It's like they can't even see the Lynnwood players.
Stay off.
Well, it's still early in the season yet, but Glacier Peak not quite up to the level of this Lynnwood team.
not showing it right now. I think they're going to have to come out more physical in the second half and give up those fouls.
If you're Glacier Peak defensively, John, you stay man-to-man zone. They've tried everything.
Well, they haven't tried a 3-2 yet, and their zone is a little extended. They could pack it in a little more. I mean, you got to keep them out of the paint, right? Make them beat you from outside.
High percentage shot.
Yeah, they're just crushing you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Our special guest, David Kruger from the Everett Herald. Stay tuned, 40-28. More after this on STSPN.com.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Lynnwood Royals up big 40-28 here in the first half at the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Joining me now is, again, one of the local celebrities, I always say. Yet, but it's David Kruger from the Everett Herald. You know him from the podcast, the weekly football show on KRKO.
You were on our podcast too. You're a celebrity too now.
I was. I got the call up. That was awesome. Also, you can write his incredible words along with Aaron Lombers, Rich Meyer, everybody, Everett Herald. Nobody covers prep like these guys do. And basketball, good to see you inside, first of all, David.
Yeah, no kidding. It's kind of ugly outside. It's nice to be indoors and undercover again.
So this one, again, kind of mark on your schedule, the top three in 3A South here for girls. Lynnwood, Edmonds, Woodway, Lynnwood, Arlington in the mix, of course. What do you think? I'm a little surprised here. What's your thoughts here through one half?
Well, both teams shot pretty well in the first half. Lynnwood took a few more shots, and that's why they have a 12-point lead. But there was a time down the floor, I think there was about 8 baskets in a row that each team made. And these teams are two teams known for their defense. They're tough. Both teams like full court, aggressive defensive pressure. And both teams know that, know how to kind of offset it, and are having success against it early on.
What else? You guys talk on the podcast, again, if you want to check it out. It's not only great education on prep sports, but it's entertaining.
I don't know if it's either one of those things, but thank you for saying that.
Just you and Lombers, the bickering is just worth tuning in right there. It's like reality television. You can't
come and get in the office sometime. It's the exact same. Just sitting around the office. But
at some point, we're going to go video that. And for those to pull back the curtain and see, the real fun is all the notes and drawings you do.
I'm gonna be sick that day when you have the video. I'm gonna call in sick that day, I think.
And you had you've had several guests. You had Nayland Sue, the great head coach from Out Lake Terrace. You had a great student reporter from Arlington
Eagles. Yeah, he's right here. We had John Yeager on Monday, talk a little bit Arlington hoops, the boys and the girls. Like you mentioned, the Arlington girls, one of the top 3 teams.
Yes.
The AP poll just came out. I think Arlington is still number 3. Lynnwood leapfrog Bellevue for number 1 now, and Glacier Peak jumped up to number 9. So.
Well, the power poll, they had that taken care of. I mean, come on.
We knew where Lynnwood belonged.
I know there was poll controversy early in the season on the podcast.
That's the last thing you want. You don't want poll controversy, but we have some really good girls teams in this area, and 2 of the best are right here in front of us tonight.
And Lynnwood now Friday night, they take on Edmonds Woodway again. It's still early enough, kind of the middle of the season, where everybody's not quite in their flow. So do you expect by the end of the season, when we get down to the wire, we replay last year's scenarios?
Kind of. You think about last year, and Lynnwood kind of rolled Glacier Peak in their first matchup. The second time around, Glacier Peak got them, and the third game was, I think, a district semifinals of championship.
Championship 48-42.
And that game was fantastic the whole way through. So by the time districts come around, these teams are really familiar with each other. They know what to expect. And even now, this is probably one of Lynnwood's closest games of the year so far through a first half, because they're so familiar with each other. And Glacier Peak knows what they're trying to do. It's just a matter of trying to slow the Royals down.
And for those of you who have never actually seen Aaron Lombers, I mean, what's the deal? You guys call him the old man all the time. I mean, how old is Aaron Lombers? Should that be a poll question up at the Everett Herald at heraldnet.com?
He's roughly 78, give or take 20 years. No, he's actually, I think, 34, 35, but he's kind of curmudgeon-y, doesn't like having fun and going out and seeing like outdoors in real life. So we are going on a vacation this.
I heard.
I am getting him out of the state now this summer. So.
Did you guys get seats together?
He's sitting a row behind me in the plane. We're not ready for that. We're not ready for that yet.
Oh my goodness! Well, the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show carries on right now. You're seeing some replays from this first half. Kind of went back and forth. David Kruger, our guest here from the Everett Herald, heraldnet.com. It was like run and gun. Oh, it was going to be an 80-point game there for a second. Then everybody kind of calmed down a little bit. And you had Jordan Edwards and, again, Steven, our statistician, saying, all those shots from the paint, Lynnwood shooting 69% in the first half.
That 3 by Jordan was huge and then in the first quarter. Gave him that 4-point lead. Then they kept that going with a 10-3 run for the second half. And that 7 points kind of gave them that advantage early on. They've been building on that. But that was huge to get going. And I don't know what Everett Edwards said at the end of the first quarter, but it got his team fired up, and they came out shooting, and they came out fast at the start of that second quarter. I did the same thing here now in the third quarter, too.
All right, always good stuff. David, how can people follow you on the Twitter sphere?
I'm at Kruger_David, and at HailNet Preps has scores from all over the county.
And we got a lot going on this week in prep basketball, boys and girls. Listen to the podcast, read them, watch them. Thank you very much, David Kruger, on the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back with a tip-off of the second half coming up right here on STSPN.
NBA 3 ball. He just absolutely drains that one.
Back here live in the cave, Glacier Peak High School, Snohomish, Washington. Scott Osman joined along by John McClain, Ron Henthorn. Johnny Mac, let me start with you. We talked a little bit going into the halftime break. What adjustments is Brian Hill and his team going to try and throw at these Lynnwood Royals?
I don't know, but if I was him, I'd take my 2-3 and I would pack it into the paint. I'd make them score from the outside because everything they've been doing right now is within like 5 feet.
And number 33.
Let's see if they can do it. Ron Henthorn, we're looking at turnovers, and that was also big. GP 9 turnovers in the first half. Lynnwood only 3. As Paisley with the runner, not going to get the roll. Another rebound by Michaela Pivick.
Yeah, Lynnwood just attacks the boards.
Rogers
with a miss. He's going to get another chance at it.
And Pivick fights her way, and it's going to call GP ball. They're going to call a foul on Michaela Pivick.
Interesting call, I'll say.
Looks like they were just kind of tip-tapping for the ball.
And we talked about GP needing to be a little more physical, maybe use up some of those fouls a little bit in the second half. I'd like to see them press more, and what we're seeing right now is Lynnwood pressing more.
Rasmussen taking the ball in, gets it to Paisley Johnson.
Well, Lynnwood wants to set a tone. They want to just step on the neck of GP right now.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure they don't mount a comeback.
Johnson starts the second half on a good note with a 3-ball.
That's exactly what Lynnwood doesn't want to see happen. Because GP's been shooting pretty good right now from three-point range.
40-31, just the start.
Now we see the 3-2 zone, see?
Yep, you called it. Pivick, and Paisley falls down. That's never good defense against Pivick. She's deadly.
Gave her too much time on that shot.
11 so far for Michaela. She's dropped 33 points over the Christmas holiday breaks at Salesian Academy. 33 for Pivick. She's had 26. She can fill it up.
And you know, the full court press that Lynnwood's putting on isn't really to get the ball from GP. It's just to burn another 5 seconds off the shot clock, right?
Turnaround by Watkins. Good help by Caprice Boston. Front rim. Here comes Pivick. 42-31, 6:20 in the third quarter.
Kayla just needs to get a little arc on that ball, get it up on top of the cylinder.
Help coming weak side. She actually turned the other side of the basket, had a good drop step there. 3-ball Edwards, too much spin.
GP with the board. That's exactly what they want on the defense there.
Paisley wards Boston off with the other hand. Those two have had a long history in their short careers going after each other. Fatkin, and the ball tipped up, and of course who's there? Michaela Pivick.
Yeah, but Watkins double teamed right there. There's no need to force the ball into her.
Wide open, nice dish to Edwards.
The transition game, somebody's got to stop her a little further out. Don't let her get all the way down past the free throw line before you stop her.
Oh, 7 now, another turnover. Just sloppy play there. Pivick stops, drops. But there's another offensive rebound by a hustling Jordan Edwards.
And then Paisley fouled her with her nose. Uncommon.
Her first here at the 5:16 mark of the third quarter. Paisley inside to Rogers. Goes to the stripe but can't get the bucket.
I heard that slap.
Yeah.
Number 12, Kayla Watkins,
Her first foul. We talked about coming into the second, getting him to the line.
2 free throws for Lynnwood. Number 14.
They shoot 73% as a team at the stripe so far through 11 games. Rogers an 82% free thrower, as I give her the broadcast jinx.
Yes, exactly. But, hey, Paisley just committed her first foul, and it's the start of the second half.
That's a big deal.
Also, a statistic we don't normally say.
5 for 9 beyond the arc for Glacier Peak. That is one of their signature trademarks.
Yeah, but Cap's
that's
got
not
none.
bad.
Cap's got none.
Yeah, Nat Rasmussen.
Sometimes she'll put together like 3 or 4 in a row.
Paisley, there she goes. And just off the made basket, Brian Hill wants to talk about it. Paisley Johnson doing what she can. 2 3 balls here in the third quarter.
Normally, if you're going to call a timeout at that point in the ball game, now you're going to come out with a full court press.
Normally, I would be expecting that.
But I wouldn't do that against this Lynnwood team because I don't think there's a press that they can't beat.
I think you need to try it to see what happens, though, John.
Well, it's just another layup for them.
Well,
that's all I'm saying. I'd run everybody down and be camped down there in the paint, man.
Well,
make them shoot the long ball.
Pack it in.
Well, let's see what Coach Hill worked up on that 30-second timeout there.
Well, a lot of great broadcasts and webcasts on YouTube, anything you want on STSPN this week. Tomorrow night, right back here, Glacier Peak boys take on Edmonds Woodway boys for another 3A South. Should be a juggernaut. Edmonds Woodway playing very well. Edmonds Woodway putting up a lot of points. We'll see if the Glacier Peak boys defense can do something. Paisley pokes that away, and Boston still drives in to no avail. 44-34, 4:32 left in the quarter. And Fatkin can't get the roll, and another rebound by Pivot.
That's because she didn't use the glass.
Good.
Tough shot. Pivot. And Boston goes up, and they're going to call a travel before the shot for Caprice Boston.
That's a good call.
Who was that ref over there, Ron?
That's what's his
It's
name?
not Romeo, is it?
Is that McIntyre or Howell?
No, that was Ryaz.
Kanji.
Yeah. He's called the travel.
Sammy Fatkin working on Caprice Boston now.
We're going to make sure he gets credit for his stats.
That's true. 12 on the shot clock.
Oh.
Nice cut to the basket. Finds Josephitis.
Oh.
Oh, she can't buy it. The sophomore. And they cross the timeline, and Everett Edwards doesn't like something, wants to take a timeout. Again, the lead 10 with 3:52. We'll step away just real quickly here. Glacier Peak, Lynnwood, STSPN.com. We'll be right back.
Do we have turnovers for Lynnwood?
3:52 left in the third quarter. Scott Oshman. SPN's coverage of Western Conference varsity basketball here. Top 2 teams in the state will most likely get to regionals as Rogers with a jumper and Paisley with the rebound. Paisley trying to drive on Edwards. Good D by Edwards. Paisley back out. Now finds a soft pass, just couldn't get it into Watkins. Back come the Royals. Pivot. And then a call the foul on Rasmussen. Her cat-like hands.
She says she grabbed the ball, but the ref says no way.
And Natalie, go ahead.
So, Ron, give Scotty the bad turnover news.
Bad turnover news is Glacier Peak has 11, Lynnwood has 4.
That will, obviously, that's captain. Obviously, that'll kill you. Great dish inside to Rogers. Cannot finish, but she'll head back to the stripe. Lynnwood just having their way in the paint.
Yeah, they're passing all around them, right? It's like Glacier Peak's just spinning around in circles down there.
Lynnwood averaging 14 assists per game coming into tonight. Their average turnovers, we're talking about that, 11.7. Whereas Glacier Peak averages 13.5 as Rogers hits the front of that.
And, that's the most impressive thing, I think, about this Lynnwood team is their passing. The passes are quick, they're crisp. The girls are all looking all the time. Their heads are just on swivels, right? And they got great anticipation.
Good start.
Rogers hits there. And there's another turnover.
On a bad pass, Johnny, just like you were saying.
And we talked about coming out of the halftime, you guys, about Glacier Peak maybe slowing this ball game down in many ways, but one getting to the line. And they've got as many fouls in the third quarter as they had the entire first half.
A little more aggressive, but they got to make those turn into something.
Fatkins tries to get Pivic to lose the ball. Walsh around the horn, 7 on the shot clock. Pivic, what a sky rebound by Rogers, back out, or by Edwards out to Rogers, and still they keep the ball and reset the shot clock. Offensive rebounds absolutely destroying Glacier Peak.
Yeah, they're really aggressive at going to the hoop on all those shots, and Glacier Peak just isn't doing a really good job of blocking out right now.
Lynnwood just been out-rebounding their opponents, 34, and that shot by Walsh, she can't get it to go. Here comes Fatkins, one-on-one, nice move, and it falls. 10 for Sammy.
Sammy had her spinning around, she actually fell down.
I knocked down 2.
Lead at 10 again, 46-36, 1:49 left in the third quarter. Caprice Boston out to Michaela Pivic. Now all alone, Edwards. And there's Rogers for the rebound, the putback. No, and again, Lynnwood hustling to the ground is Caprice Boston. What hustle.
Yeah, they're just going after it, right? I mean, Glacier Peak's kind of standing around on that last shot. Josephitis, all she had to do was block out and get the ball, and the girl got around her.
Have a feeling blockout drills will be part of the regime tomorrow, regiment tomorrow's practice.
Until you can't stand.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Edwards going to try again, this time from the 3. This time Kayla Watkins goes up, and it's stripped away by Pivic. She goes back up off the square and in. Offensive rebounds, second, third chances for the Royals, 48-36 with 58 seconds. Paisley.
On the road to the bucket. Gets hammered.
Give me a lane, I'm taking it, says Hayes.
And she doesn't need much room either.
No.
Just an inch or two.
Number 14, Kelsey Rogers.
Quick first step. Rogers, her second foul.
Going to the line to shoot 2 for Glacier Peak. Number 3, Paisley Johnson.
And Pays coming in, 71% from the line.
And you jinxed her.
Bounce it out.
Boy, that was way down in the cylinder, too.
She is a thief, though. I tell you what, she's got 4 games where she's got 6 steals through 12. She had 8 steals through Gig Harbor. She misses both. And she tries to get the rebound to jump on that. Should be Glacier Peak. No.
Lynnwood basketball.
I'm very confused on the possession.
We can't see the arrow.
There you go. Thank you, Steven. GP started the half with the ball. Under 50 seconds to go here at Glacier Peak High School. Pivic stepped right on the line. And Paisley working her tail off to get a rebound. Nice box out, and she draws the whistle.
Yeah, you block these girls out, I think they're going to get upset and foul you because they're not used to it happening. And typically in a ball game, you only have to block out once really good, and it just sets a tone.
Well, and that's a 5-second call there by Natalie Rasmussen, the senior.
And that's a turnover, which we can't be having.
38.7 seconds left in the third quarter, 48-36. Lynnwood on top, and that one will stay with the Lynnwood Royals. Ninth year for Everett Edwards, won the state title last year. Ninth year also for Glacier Peak head coach Brian Hill. "25 seconds, 22, 14, 13 on the shot clock. Pivot from 3, front rim, but I think she gets it back. Unbelievable. Great drive and dish to Boston. Can't get a pivot again. She just wants it. Goes up hard. And you're going to get called for an offensive charge as Michaela Pivot. Nice job by P.J. Johnson.
Yeah. 7.5 seconds in this third period. Let's see if GP can get a basket.
Team's fourth. Into the game for Lynnwood, number 23.
And sometimes it's about probabilities. Lynnwood twice as many shot attempts as Glacier Peak in the third quarter.
That's all basketball is, right? You need to get more shots up and a higher percentage shots than your other team.
Fire away.
Is that a guarantee, John?
Just about. All other things being even.
We pride ourselves on stating the obvious here at STSPN. Not able to get a good look. Again, another potential steal there.
Lynnwood, though, only able to extend their lead to 2 more points since halftime.
That's true.
8 points in that quarter is all they got.
Time almost stood still there.
But
we'll let the band take us to the break. Fourth quarter coming up. Let's see if Glacier Peak can get this one down to single digits on STSPN.com.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Sloppy.
Back here at the Cave, Glacier Peak High School. Students back here from the big break. Happy New Year to you guys again. Happy New Year to everybody else. And as we roll through January here, kind of the mid-year report here on varsity basketball. And it really counts when you get end of January and in February.
That's a good chance we'll see these two kids playing together again in the playoffs somewhere.
So the third quarter, like we were saying during these little pause there, was a good quarter for GP.
Yeah.
I mean, that was success. It was sloppy, but successful. And it was successful because they kept Lynnwood from scoring, right?
Lynnwood shooting 54%. As a nice little curl up and under there by Paisley Johnson. She is carrying the load. 17 for the junior. Back to the 10-point lead for Lynnwood. Walsh now playing catch with Caprice Boston. Walsh driving, 10 on the shot clock here. Cross court to Walsh, tough to handle, and they're going to say it was tipped out by Walsh. Glacier Peak ball. Rare turnover there by the Royals.
Nice call by Ross. He saw it. He was right in front of him there. So
it's a good try by Walsh. They set her up for something bad there. I mean, that was just not a good pass.
Wasn't her fault, no.
Both teams 4-0 in the 3A South. Lynnwood has not lost a game, hasn't even been pressured. Nat Rasmussen, bank!
Oh, I heard her call it. She said off the glass.
Yeah.
Finally, with that shot, Glacier Peak takes over a higher shooting percentage than Lynnwood. Here comes Pivot, splits the double, up and under.
They stopped playing defense. They had her, and then they stopped.
And Edwards wants a full timeout there.
Lynnwood Royals a timeout, 50-41 after the great shot by Natalie Rasmussen. So Lynnwood, they head on after this game to Shorecrest on Friday. And Glacier Peak heads over to Edmonds Woodway, and that game will be broadcast on our partner webcast, SLSN, Sound Live Sports Network. Keith Neely going to bring you that one. And so you can't get too caught up in a loss either way here, Glacier Peak or Lynnwood. We'll see if Glacier Peak can mount a comeback.
So they're staying in there, but you can't give up like they did on that last one right there. So
yeah, but this time of the season, it doesn't matter either way. I mean, the only thing that would matter is placement in the state kind of standings right now. Even that doesn't mean anything.
Here's the replay of that. Nat Rasmussen, she called bank. John heard her.
Yeah.
Johnny Mack heard her from up here, called bank. So we'll count that one.
Oh, yeah, we count it.
Well, I think that was really good coaching by Coach Edwards there to call that timeout because he sees something wrong and he does it right away. He didn't wait.
50-49, Lynnwood up, 6:44 left in this fourth and final quarter. Fatkins guarded by Walsh. Finds Josephitis. Great defense by Rogers.
It was a nice pass, too.
Jump stop, pump fake, and you'd be successful.
Abby Josephitis getting her mostly minutes here this year. Had a couple appearances throughout the season last year as a freshman, got called up to varsity, which is a big deal. Fatkins outside there with Rasmussen. 8 on the shot clock now, guarded by Walsh. Now they get to Josephitis. She's got a good shot, trying to hustle for the rebound, and Edwards comes up with it.
6 minutes left to go in this game, boys.
Boston, boy, she just sneaks her way in there and gets the bucket.
That looked like a travel. Looked a lot like a travel.
Turn and shoot, Ab.
And that's just poor luck right there. Off Pivot, then off Paisley.
Paisley trying to get out of the way, but
I don't know about you, John, but if I get the ball in the paint, I'm going to turn and shoot.
9 times out of 10.
Lynnwood again with their big seniors, Edwards. And here's Pivot heading to Oregon State. That's just too easy. You cannot give her any type of open look. 17 now.
That's why she's headed to Oregon State. You see the jump shot?
Yeah.
Smooth and silky. Paisley Johnson, and great hustle by Edwards. Another steal.
Paisley's hurt.
Paisley is not getting up, and now there's official timeout with 5:19 left in the ball game, and
There's an injury.
Brian Hill goes out.
She went down on her right arm there, so like she twisted her arm. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but she's not moving right now on because of her arm. So
well, they cannot afford anything happen to Paisley Johnson, their leading scorer, not only tonight with 17, but she's had 29 versus Roosevelt to start the season, 25 versus Shorecrest.
They're massaging her calf, though. I think it's a cramp.
Hopefully it's a cramp.
yeah, that's a good thing.
We'll step away while they attend to her, and we'll come back. 5:19 left to go on STSPN.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of
McDaniel's Do-It Center, John and Ron, we know it, we love it. Downtown Snohomish. I mean, it's like you got a concierge right when you walk in the door. Just you don't have to think.
One-stop shop. You walk in, they'll ask you what you're looking for, and then you tell them, they go get it for you.
You don't even have to know what you're looking for, John. It's there.
I tell you, it's a lost art, which is incredible. Great customer service. They have great selection. McDaniel's Do-It Center, downtown Snohomish. Check it out if you haven't. They have everything you need down there. 54-41. Good to see Paisley Johnson walk off the
McDaniel's a good quarterback, by the way.
Yeah, and a fine basketball player. And you might see him on Friday night on STSPN, actually, where Snohomish welcomes in, as we see in Lisa Zanol there trying to dry the floor. What was she doing there?
I don't know. The boys basketball tomorrow night, Scott, right?
We have Glacier Peak Edmonds Woodway tomorrow night, and then we have wrestling on STSPN on Friday night, along with a possibility. Check YouTube station and STSPN.com as Walsh hits or goes for the 3, and it's going to be Glacier Peak basketball. We could have boys Snohomish versus Monroe on Friday night. That is that's in deliberation right now by the 5-tool player, Todd Elvig.
And McDaniels plays for Snohomish. So.
And he does.
Who's he deliberating with? Just himself,
Himself.
Right?
He's had a meeting with him himself and
his tools.
And all the tools they got in a room, and they're discussing. 54-41, 4:39 left to go here.
Hit it.
Watkins, she wants it. Nice try, and it's going to stay Lynnwood basketball. Boy, we've talked about it a lot of times. Michaela Pivic, she can just elevate much higher than most other girls at this level.
Yeah, she jumps.
She jumps like a basketball player.
That's the in-depth analysis we look for here on STSPN.
That's pretty much the difference.
It is the difference. It's
Riley Walsh coming up. She's a junior. Number 2. 11 on the shot clock for Lynnwood. Deep 3-corner. Nothing there at all. And McFadden down with it. Number 15 in. Rasmussen.
No.
You cannot make those type of passes. They're too athletic and cutting off the lanes. Good play there by Caprice Boston.
Yep. Well, good to see this Paisley Johnson coming back to the scoreboard here to come back in. So she'll be finishing this game out, and we sure need the points from Pays.
Snohomish now, girls basketball as she gets it into Pivic, back out to Edwards. Another 3. That one does not go. Again, good box out there by McFadden. Snohomish 26, Lake Stevens 21 early on, and that is going to get back to Lynnwood basketball.
Another turnover.
17 turnovers for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. And only 5 for the Royals as Brian Hill takes a TO, baby. We'll keep it right here. We will have an adrenaline fundraiser player of the game after tonight's contest. Gentlemen with a few going. And there's a winning, this just in, the Powerball has been won.
It wasn't me.
Where do I go pick it up at?
They threw a phone in my face. All I saw was 1.5 and a lot of zeros.
Yeah. I'm getting the lump sum payment.
You want to check your phone? Maybe you won?
I'll check it later.
No, I was in California, I think
my summer house.
Said.
I just saved $2. I didn't buy a ticket.
What are you guys thinking as far as Michaela Pivic again? I mean, she has got to have, I don't know how many player of the game t-shirts from various outlets over the years. She's got 17 right now.
Hey, you know who's been playing good, though, is Rogers.
Yes.
Yeah, not scoring a lot, is she?
10 points for Kelsey Rogers.
10 for Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good game. Plus, she's been stumping Kayla right now.
You could consider co-players of the game if you wanted to give a couple girls down there.
Well, we have to check with the coffers here at STSPN, see if that's budgeted.
We can tear the shirt in half.
Probably.
You know, Edwards, what's Edwards got?
Speaking of Rogers, good turnaway fadeaway, John. Big rebound, offensive rebound by Boston. Back up, relentless on the boards.
Boston's a good pick, too.
Yeah. That foul's gone against Pivic.
Boston's got 12 points.
Number 10, Michaela Pivic, her 4th, team's 5th.
Oh, 10.
For Glacier Peak.
So 3:02 left, 4 fouls on Michaela Pivic.
Taylor Fahey.
Fahey in now for Lynnwood.
3 minutes and 13 points and a turnover almost by Sammy there.
Paisley gets it across the timeline. Now she's dribbling around. Sam Fatkin not on the same page. Caprice Boston again. Can't get it, finish in transition, but she gets her own rebounds. A stat stuffer puts it up and in. Caprice Boston hustle play again. She has 12 points now. Caprice Boston, she wants that t-shirt.
Sammy's got to shoot the ball.
Don't have time for that many passes.
11 on the shot clock. Rasmussen, deep three, corner. Hits the rim. Now, race for the rebound. Rasmussen comes up with it. Tries to hit a pick there. Josephitis. Sammy takes it to the rack, draws the foul, heads to the line, and Watkins hits the paint.
And she traveled before she took off, too. You know, they're not calling it quite as tight as they were earlier in the season. I noticed there's not calling a few travels, not calling a lot of body contact, a lot of hand contact that they were calling early on.
6 fouls for the Lynnwood Royals. Sam hits it.
6 of 9.
Boston, a sharp shooter tonight from the field, having an unbelievable night from the field. She's only missed what, Steven? Only missed 3 baskets.
She's not shooting enough if that's the case.
Fatkins, nice job there from the free throw line. Almost, but they get her caught for the foul.
Yep.
Kenji lights her up.
That's 3 on Pivot, is it?
No, that's on Sam Fatkins.
Oh, it was on Sammy? Oh, I thought they called
second tonight.
Glacier Peak with a little full court press going after this Lynnwood team.
Let's see what it does, John. I said they should have tried it earlier, and they can't beat it.
2 minutes, 2 seconds left to go in the game. Pivot coast to coast. Can't get the ball to go through the hoop, but she draws the foul on McFadden.
It's a tough thing to do when somebody's coming at you, to step over in front of them or just stand there and let them go by you, you know. So you want to step in front of them, and as soon as you move, you got that foul called. So
I guess they're going to put that one on Fatkin, her third, especially, Ron. She misses from the free throw line, a rare miss for Pivot, usually hitting 77%, but especially when you got Michaela Pivot bearing down on you, and when she leaves the court, she has multiple options
she does.
From the air.
Minute 58 left to go. This is looking like it's pretty much in the bag here for Lynnwood.
Got a full bag of clubs.
She does, hits that. Still full court pressure, up 57-43 with under 2 to go.
Trying to steal the deal. They haven't had a team this close to them yet this year.
They have
in the
not.
Fourth quarter.
Fatkins, another turnover. Josephitis, good hustle. Now a bounce pass. Watkins, can she handle it? Spins. Can't get the bucket. Try again. Left-hander uses the glass and in. Good persistence there by Kayla, as there's another timeout on the floor. We'll step away real quick. We'll try and decide who our Adrenaline Fundraiser player of the game is going to be. Come on back. Back here at the Cave, Glacier Peak High School band in full force. Nice student section here by Glacier Peak and Lynnwood as well.
Had to open up the upper deck tonight, first time this year.
Yeah.
I like the band up there. They're not quite as loud.
Further away, right, Ron?
Further away, yeah. 12 points, a minute 32. Lynnwood with
Walsh
the ball.
gets it into Caprice Boston, and it was unanimous. Caprice Boston going to be our player of the game, our Adrenaline Fundraiser player of the game. Stay tuned. I'll go down and talk to Caprice, and Fatkins tries to get a steal, but Pivot hits the court hard. Here comes Paisley.
There had to be a foul in there somewhere.
Rebound now. It's just helter-skelter. All kinds of kids hitting the deck.
Yeah.
Guys need to blow the whistle before somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, that was a fiasco. There was no foul there. He's going to go probably against Paisley.
It is on Paisley Johnson. That'll get him to the 7th. Only her second, so good improvement there. as their substitutions now as Jensen checks out, number 30.
So Nicole Jensen got her 10 seconds of play in. I don't know why he didn't leave her in.
Kayla and Abby Jesopaitis in. Walsh here. Rims out, Watkins with the rebound.
Do it. Move it.
1 minute left to go in this one, 57-45. Lynnwood has led all the way. Sam, 3-ball!
And the press is on. Watch out, Rogers Long all by herself. Oh,
Pivot
no.
to Rogers. Easy.
GP coming back.
Well, that's why the press doesn't work,
Sammy
John.
another 3-ball. Kale will take it. Boom.
Got it. Timeout, Brian Hill.
And they got the animals checking in. They're putting in Jensen and McFadden again for the full court press.
34.9 seconds.
8 points.
8-point lead.
That's closer than you thought it was going to be about 5 minutes ago.
And that's a rare shot. Kayla Watkins, we know from knowing her since she was in 4th grade, she has a beautiful shot from outside the arc, but she's only had made 1 of 11. She's only taken it 11 times coming in tonight through 12 ball games, 1 for 11. We know she can do better than that. Obviously, they want her inside. So a good rare shot there for Kayla. 1 for 11 from outside the arc, the 3-point, not going for Lynnwood, but they don't need it.
Yeah.
No, when you're shooting layups all night long, you don't need it. I'm sure.
9 of 14 from 3-point land for Glacier Peak. Again, they live and die. Yeah, they live and die by it.
Now, if you look at the stats after this game, you're going to say next time out, we're going to shoot more threes.
See what Hill's doing, right? He's taking Kayla out, and now he's got Jensen and McFadden in for
he wants
full
to
court.
steal.
Oh, and Paisley didn't see that one coming. A quick foul, 32.5. And now here's the subs, John.
Now they're coming back in.
Yeah. A little professional coaching scheme there, Scott, John.
Fourth team foul for Natalie Rasmussen. Again, this is almost like the early time in her season. She missed a few games here early, so she hasn't gotten warmed up yet totally. Caprice Boston at the line.
Yeah, had like a hip flexor injury early in the season or something.
Doesn't get it, and tipped out, and it's going to go Glacier Peak. Great quick move there by Edwards to get around Watkins. 32 seconds, 8-point lead. Sam hit a big 3. Kayla steps out. She wants the 3. Now she thinks about it, gets it into Paisley, drives on Walsh, underneath. Tough shot, Jesopaitis out for Rasmussen. Got it! 14.3 seconds. Timeout again by Hill, or they're foul. No.
Foul, yeah. A 5-point game now with 12.7 seconds left to go.
That's a third. They did call the foul on Paisley, and Edwards to the line.
Oh, yeah.
But give Glacier Peak credit. The crowd gets up and into it now. Finally, short. Rebound Johnson. 10 seconds left. In the front court, 8 seconds. Over to Fatkins. Jumps, 3-ball, off front rim. No, rebound Walsh. 2.8 left on the shot, on the game clock. Quick foul now, back to the other way.
Kind of interesting, the last couple times down to the free throw line there, Lynnwood has not made those free throws, and prior to that, they probably had a much higher percentage from the line, and our good stat probably tell us what that was if we had a chance to build them up there.
We're seeing what is Lynnwood from the line. They come in as a 73% shooter from the line as Walsh steps up, and she cannot get it to go.
They can't make the free throws these last 3 times down here.
Left the door open for GP. I don't think they're going to be able to slide in it or through it. But
2.8 seconds and 6 points isn't going to do it.
She gets that.
desperation shot here. if they let
6,
him take it.
Josephitis into Rasmussen, 1 point. She gets it off, but it's off the backboard. And 60-54. So stay with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll go down our Adrenaline fundraiser. Player of the game for the Lynnwood Royals. They win this one 60-54 is Caprice Boston.
3 ball. He just absolutely drains that one.